James 5 is the chapter that has the conclusion of James, and that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the beginning of James's conclusion, which starts in chapter 5, verse 12. In chapter 5, verse 12, James says, "But above all," that's how the verse starts, and "but above all" says, hey, everything that's come before this is secondary to this one point. This one point that I'm about to make is the most important point in the whole book. So James says, "But above all, my brothers, do not swear, either by heaven or by earth, or by any other oath, but let your yes be yes, and your no be no, so that you may not fall under condemnation." So what is he saying here? He's saying, hey, when you say something, follow through on it. Whatever you say, whether you say yes or whether you say no, do it. And the phrase "above all" is really significant when you consider what has come before this verse in the book of James. James is talking about all sorts of stuff. He's talked about hearing the word and doing the word. He's talked about partiality, the sin of partiality. He's talked about following through on your faith, having works after your faith. He's talking about wisdom. He's talked about the corruption of riches. He's talked about being patient in suffering. He's talked about all these different things. And yet, James says this is the most important thing, and it's trustworthiness. It's not something you usually think about as being the number one thing in our Christian lives. But James seems to think that it's very important. So if James thinks it's important, I think it's important. So as you live your lives, look for ways to be trustworthy. Look for ways to be reliable. When you say something, follow through on it. And be reliable in that way so that you may not fall under condemnation.